not reinforce, and when they're sending you behavior that you would. And then the other thing we could do, the key is to know when you've been in the complete opposite in terms of your reaction and when you're right on in your reaction. So one choice, and these are both generic things that many people may do, but the thing that I think about is you have concepts in Nosework that everyone should know at this point that are enduring and not going to change. And then you have tools that a lot of people do know. What makes you a really potent coach for your dog or handler for your dog is knowing how to use the concepts, when to use them, how to use the tools, when to use them, right? So you got to know those things. So one option is kind of just what we could generically call the choice game, which is that dog gets in, gets to the odor, they're going to give you whatever they give you, like any of Crush's earlier behaviors. You're going to pay them a piece of food, and then you're going to have more food in both hands that you're going to bring down to either side of that odor, 8 or 10 inches to either side. And you're going to keep those hands open. If they go after it, you got to close up the hands. Once they're not going after it, you open them. When they choose odor again, you pay them from the hand they weren't just trying to mug, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this is something that most dogs are agreeable to because you're paying them initially for their wishy-washy alert, right? And most of them then are agreeable to stick around. But you gotta watch out for the dog who's telling you that, oops, you haven't built a lot of value in odor, right? And they'll tell you that by not choosing the odor again. They'll look at the setup and they'll sit, or they'll pat your hand, or they'll just focus on your hand, or they'll poke in the direction of odor and look at you. That's a dog that hasn't had a lot of habit-formed experiences of deciding to choose odor when they're in a choice environment, right? So a lot of people think that just dog indicates that when I paid him at source that I'm building the value of source. You are, but you're not building it in a choice scenario, right? And the choice scenario is where it's powerful. So when the dog has to make the decision between this and odor, and they're choosing odor, now you're building something.
And you pay them, how do you decide which hand you're paying them with?
Whichever one they weren't focusing on most recently.
Okay.
So if they try to get something from you in this hand and then went back to odor, you come in with that hand and pay them. The reason you do that is so you don't end up undermining what you're trying to do. Because if they were focused on this, they go back to odor. By the time you're putting your hand over there, they may have come to meet your hand and they're eating it. Because they're really thinking, aha, I got the food out of the hand. Versus when you bring it in with the other one, not expecting it, odor is more likely why they got the food in their mind. Your other option is just the, slow reward, we'll call it, or red light, green light. Simple way to put it. And that is, hey, when my dog goes to the odor, I'll slowly go through the motions of coming to pay them, but I'll stop anytime they've come away from the odor and stop focusing on the odor. So slowly when they're focused on it, stop when they come away. Slowly when they're focused on it, stop when they come away. The important piece to this one is I don't just look for a moment when they're focused and lunge in and pay them. I have to just maintain that slow stop till I can pay them, right? And the last 1.5 feet is the worst, because that's where most of us, if you watch all the dogs today, most of the dogs are coming off of the odor, meeting your hand, going back to the odor to take the food from you. Mm-hmm. So that last 1.5 feet, they believe that you should not be stopping just because I came away from the odor. You always bring me back into the odor with the food, right? So that's where you need to be very careful that, whoops, you came off the odor. Oh, you went back? I'll come and give it to you. Those two things supercharge the dog to decide odor, right? When they're faced with a choice. So everyone can kind of choose just to make sure we're not killing it. Our two dogs, Gracie and Crush, can choose their decision on that. And then if you would like to do it, practicing it on your own while we're running the blind, you can do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So what would you pick for Gracie?
I've already done so I would like to do the It's Your Choice.
Okay. So great on the It's Your Choice, but this action Are you pulling back?
No, what I'm doing is I'll go in, and if cause she has the look back.
Okay,
right?
yep.
As much as I'd like that to go away, I'd rather she stay with her nose on it.
Yeah.
She gives me sort of a blended response if I wait and I want that nose on order. She'll kind of do that bop in the area and then she'll be like, oh, okay, and then she'll stand there and she'll
Yeah.
look at me. So we have worked on that. It's
Good.
just that she's so impulsive
Yeah.
that she's not. Maybe we haven't worked it enough and she's not retaining it.
Yeah, and typically the pitfalls of it is if my slow movements aren't obvious enough when the dog goes back to odor, then the dog may think odor's not the choice that's getting you closer. Or if my movements are punitive, like I retract because they came away from odor, then they sometimes go, "Oh," and they don't proceed. So those are kind of the fine points.
Okay.
But the choice game for her, will I think we can still squeeze a little usefulness out of this area because it's choice game. You have to choose a hide placement that will be comfortable on your back. Because if you choose something that you have to like do this for like a minute and a half, that's very uncomfortable. Those with smaller dogs, it might be a little uncomfortable. But this area gives us a lot of options to put you in a position that's easier. So I'm going to choose the corner of one of the tables.
Oh, okay.
And that way you have an easy way to see what she's doing, and you have an easy way to settle yourself on either side of it, about a foot away or so. And keep those hands open unless she tries to get it.
So when she finds it, I'm gonna bring in a roller.
You'll pay like you normally
and
would,
then
just
I'll
one
fill my
piece.
hands and just wait there with it.
Yeah. If you can film, as quickly as possible, so it's not a long delay, that'd be great. If you can have them ready already, that's even better. But yeah, so you're just looking to pay like you normally would, then get into that position and let her feel that if I want more food, I need to prove that I can continue to choose this over. Right? Okay, I'll get that set up.
I think we could play the game that he made me play once, where he asked me stupid questions and I can't treat the dog. I answer dumb questions. And so the dog has to keep their head on the odor.
That's a good game for you to have
Yeah,
to play.
and the ultimate goal